Everybody, this is Wallguy, and today I'm trying something a little bit out of the ordinary for myself. Specifically, I'm using the M4 with iron sight, stock barrel, and open tip ammo in this particular case. The last time I used this weapon was way back when I first got this game. I used it combined with the AKS-74U for just a little bit more than an hour to unlock the P90, and after that I was off and running with the P90 for some 350 hours or so. What brings me back to the M4 today is a request by one of my viewers, STG-TheBest08. He wanted me to use this specific loadout because he calls it his beast setup. After using it, I'd have to agree that it's a very nice setup. I can see why he likes it. Very good all-round gun. Despite my lack of experience with it, I was able to get this gameplay in my first complete game while using it. So I definitely have to agree that it is a very nice setup. And thank you for the request. I hope you enjoy watching this video. A nice side effect of this challenge or request is that I'm back in the Spec Ops class on Garmsertown. Now, it's been quite a while now that I've been working on my rifleman class skills on this level, so that requires kind of a different style of gameplay that, you know, deviates from what I would do as a Spec Ops class guy. As a Spec Ops class guy, I tend to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more up in people's faces due to the weapon's better performance in head-to-head situations at close range. Now, from all you've seen on my YouTube videos, you might think that I tend to stick with the rifleman class, but that's not really the case. Spec Ops is actually what I usually play as. It's an interesting coincidence that I started posting Medal of Honor YouTube videos pretty much right around the time I was switching over from my using the P90 all the time to trying out the AK-47 and a little bit of the MP7. So despite my over 350 hours with the P90, which is more than I've used every other gun in the game combined, only my first video on YouTube is showing me using the P90. After that, I alternate between the AK-47 in the rifleman class and the MP7 periodically. Now, I bring this up specifically because oftentimes after fulfilling a request like I'm doing here, or Meowth has done with shotguns, and me with iron sights in the past, different stuff like that, we eventually come back to the setup that we are currently using the most, and that surprises people. They think, hey, wait a second, why are you back to using the same gun? Why don't you, like, mix it up a little bit, or, you know, use a different gun? Well, I would answer that question with, well, we do use different guns, just not in a timetable of switching that a lot of other people do, or that some people may desire that we do it. As I mentioned, I spent 350 plus hours with the P90, and then I moved on to the AK-47 and the MP7. I like to try out different guns that have their own unique abilities and master them over time. And I'm not talking about the kind of mastering you get for picking up a gun for a few hours and getting a good feel for it, or even a couple weeks or whatever. I like to put a lot of time into a gun to truly master it, to know the insides and outs of it completely. I guarantee you there's nobody else out there who's put as much time as I have into the P90, and that's probably why so many people think the gun sucks. They just don't get it. Well, something that comes with the kind of time that I put into mastering a gun is you really learn the ins and outs of the gun. You can make it dance, you can make it do things it wasn't supposed to be able to do because you know every little intricacy of the gun and its behavior. Part of my formula for becoming good at this game or any game is to eliminate as many variables in the game as possible and focus on the factors that you can control. So sticking with same gun for a long period of time helps you to not worry about the slight variances from gun to gun, and focus instead on improving your gunplay and getting really comfortable with one gun. Constantly switching from gun to gun keeps introducing new variables and stunts your progress, makes it take longer for you to get better at the game. So this is a big part of the reason why I spent so much time with the P90 at the beginning. I wanted to both master the game and master the Spec Ops class along with that particular gun. I believe I worked that out pretty well, and once I felt like I had really made the progress I wanted to make, I moved on to the Rifleman class and hence the AK-47. At the same time, I moved on to the MP7 as a secondary learning experience for the Spec Ops class. Turns out there's not really a whole lot of intricacy to learn with the MP7. It's a very beginner-friendly gun, and that's probably why so many people just blatantly think that it's the best gun in the game, hands down, and all that jazz. But of course, the truth is, if you really want to get the most out of all the other guns, you got to go a little bit deeper than you do with the MP7, and then when you do, you're real happy because you've mastered some skills that other people will probably miss out on because they'll fixate on the MP7 is the best gun in the game. It's not. It's a very good gun, but it's not the best gun in the game, and you know, whether or not people get to the level where they can like tell that for themselves, you know, that's really not my concern, but you know, I will continue to inform people that other guns like the P90, if used correctly, can surprise you quite a bit and compete head-to-head with guns like the MP7. With all this said, I don't at all expect that I'll stick with the AK-47 and MP7 for a whole 350 hours like I did with the P90, because a lot of my work with the P90 was also trying to get good at the game and master the game. But as long as I continue to play this game, don't be surprised if you soon see me switch to some new set of guns that I adopt for a while, and also don't be surprised if I keep coming back to the AK-47 with scope for some time. I just don't know. It's all a feel thing, and at some point I'll get the feel or the urge to move on to a new weapon, to learn a new skill set, and you know, that is that. I want to be clear that I'm not about gimmickry. I'm always about getting better in the game and playing at 100% every single game. I feel like if I was working on gimmicks and playing gimmicks game after game, it would be because I had gotten bored with everything else the game had provided, and perhaps I thought that I was as good as I could possibly be. And I'm not at that point. I feel like I could still improve a lot and continue to do that, and I want to make sure that I'm putting full effort into doing so. As far as like switching guns and stuff, it's not something that I impress myself with. I know I can pick up pretty much any gun and dominate with it, but it's I like to get to know the guns better and really, you know, dial in on it in a way that other people perhaps don't. If I had an overarching goal in this game, it would not be to be the best, because what happens when you are the best? There's nothing left for you to achieve. My goal instead is the constant pursuit of the closest approximation to perfection that a human can attain. And when I reach that level, I'll raise that bar again and just try to get even better. I hope this commentary has given you some better insight into what I'm all about and why I do some of the things I do. I'm an artist, not a clown, damn it. See you online.